Welcome back to the Stack Crypto channel. It's your boy Brazen
and your boy Double O.
Let's jump right into this business today, man. Today we're going to be doing a little technical analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Shiba sitting at an interesting place. And then we're going to be talking about multi-chains and DeFi. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin and inflation, right? And we're going to be also talking about Avalanche crossing into the top 10 cryptocurrencies.
Yes,
let's get in there. Bitcoin currently trading at $57,405 as it changes, making me a liar by the second. It's all good. Oh man, this one is an interesting one because in our recording last week, was it last week? Yes, it was last week. I said, hey, we could possibly see, maybe 53K. I said we'll see 56 and maybe 53K. Currently, we're pretty close to that 56. Kenny.
Yo, we touched 56 already, so
hey,
yes, man.
The TA works.
TAs are working.
Yes.
This is a descending triangle, man. So this could flip either direction at this moment. This is what you call a bilateral pattern.
Right.
So this could be major, seriously major. It could be like, okay, all right, guys, I'm done with this bearish movement. Let's go bullish. Or it could just say, yeah, I told you I'm coming down to 53K and here I come. And either case though, if you're not invested in crypto yet, not financial advice,
right?
What we do is we buy the dip. So of course we'll be taking advantage of the dip. I've already bought some at 56K already, so I'm waiting for that next drop. I might be wrong though.
Hey,
but this could move either way.
I think that it can move either way, very much like you said there. It's a bilateral move, right? But looking at the trend, that is other thing that we also want to factor into the technical analysis, right? We're in sort of a downtrend right now. We're sitting right there at that zero Fibonacci level, and I think I'm hoping really that we even drop further than that, because I like to buy further down in the dip as well, right? So if we see 53K, I think that'll be a blessing. The moving averages as well, kind of pointing downward as well. So it's interesting. We'll see how that one goes. Go ahead.
It had an upside down H at the early weeks of November.
Right.
And then now converted to an actual H. So that could be a positive thing.
Right.
But an H always makes another H most of the time. So it could cause a lower H. So that's why it's a descending triangle. So we'll see.
Exactly. Hey, we also look at those lower highs there, which confirms that downtrend, of course, right? So interesting stuff. Moving on to Ethereum, currently trading at $4,194. Now, again, we broke out of that
the moonshot.
Yeah, we broke out of the moonshot, man. That bullish continuation, right? Channel there, that bullish channel there, and now it seems like we're just sort of going a little bit sideways, right? It dropped down to about 3,900, almost at the lowest point there, and sitting at a strong support level right now. What are your thoughts?
I am thinking that we might have an horizontal continuation here.
Right.
I feel like we just formed our shoulder and then the head, then maybe we'll form another shoulder, and because it's Ethereum, unlike Bitcoin in this case, has a very, very strong multiple resistance level. So the movement are not going to be as major as Bitcoin.
Right.
Just a few, between that 4,400 and that 38. That's a very it's gonna be tough to get out of that.
Strong one.
So I think it's just gonna keep going up and down until something wonderful comes out of the markets to say, okay, it's time for you to change your trends.
Absolutely.
But worst case scenario though, it's gonna be like 37,000 for now, from what we're seeing for now.
Absolutely.
Of course, it's still very bearish though.
It still looks bearish, and of course the awesome oscillator is dropping as well, and so is the TTM. I mean, the way I look at this one, man, for how much Ethereum is burning right now, getting a dip in an asset that is increasingly becoming more scarce by itself, it's always a plus. So looking forward to that one. Go ahead.
Most of the investors in Ethereum does not know how much Ethereum is being burned daily.
Right.
But a lot of people are selling, because I was looking at one of the charts earlier. Like people are like about what 1.3 billion worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum left the market in the last week or so.
Wow.
So somebody's selling.
Hey.
But I think it's mostly the retail investors, but there's still also volumes of folks buying like us. So
I think
we'll
it's
see what
mostly
happens.
retail. Yeah, but I'm not gonna be selling my Bitcoin or Ethereum yet. Again, I still just wanted to dip so I can get more. Shiba currently trading at a number that I cannot pronounce, many zeros. But looking at this here, we also have a descending triangle here. You pointed this one out. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so unlike Bitcoin, the current candle is still above
Right.
the zero Fibonacci. So it's holding a very, very strong resistance. Everything tends to follow Bitcoin. So I think if Bitcoin falls, SHIB will follow. For
Right.
some reason, it's the king. So everybody bows to the king, right? It's
Yeah.
unfortunate. But SHIB is holding a very strong resistance level. This could either go both directions as well.
Right.
But the buy volume is increasing on Shiba Inu at this current price. Yeah, it's a huge buy volume there. So we'll see what happens. The trends are either way. Maybe if you look at the 4-hour, we can see what's going on.
Absolutely. One of the interesting things with SHIB here is that there's a lot of retail investors who got into this one expecting to make some quick money. And when this is moving in the direction that it is right now, it's not exactly encouraging to those people. So they start getting disappointed and selling instead of holding paper hands. So I'm not really expecting to see this one run, but 4-hour chart.
Yeah. On the 4-hour charts, the candle wants to cross the 0.382. The candle needs to go to the 0.618 for it to become extremely bullish, which is like 50% chance it's going to go to 1, and then it's going to change the trends. So it's still playing around that 0.382. If it fails this, it's going to come down to 0, which means it's now at the 1 day. That means SHIB is going to come further down. So yeah, things are not looking too good for SHIB right now. But again, it's a bilateral movement, so things could flip either direction. But right now, everything is super bearish, except for some altcoins. So we'll see what happens.
Well, we'll wait and see what happens on that one. Moving into the news here, Avalanche enters the top 10 largest coins by market cap, surpassing Doge and Shiba. Man, that is an interesting one, man.
It's a lot of flipping going on, man. Flip 2 of them.
Hey, man,
that was a surprise attack.
This is the crypto way, right? You never know what will happen. So, Avalanche cryptocurrency entered the list of the largest coins on the market after reaching a new all-time high. Previously, Bloomberg reports. Earlier, Today reported that AVAX coin, AVAX is going to be the, what would you say, the ticker?
The symbol.
Yeah, exactly. AVAX coin surpassed meme-based Shiba Inu cryptocurrency and took 11th place among the top coins sorted by market capitalization. As of now, the coin has entered the elite top 10 and moved famous meme-based Dogecoin back into 11th place. The price spike on exchanges is tied to the announcement that the creator of Ava Labs made last week. The company is looking forward to partnering up with Deloitte to build different efficient disaster relief platforms.
Now, Deloitte is a major government contractor. Work with folks that work for Deloitte. So for AVAX to be partnering with Deloitte, that's a major news.
Absolutely.
I always liked the AVAX project. I just thought the price was like, woo-wee. But then if AVAX one day wakes up and say, hey, I'm going to be $4,000 coin, right. I'm like, oh shit, I should have bought some more.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely, I think it has, I mean, for looking at the use case, man, it's very strong, you know? So.
Yeah, it always has been, you know, like just like Argo and the rest of them. Yeah, it's very strong.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm happy for the folks that have a lot of it. You know, sometimes folks are always trying to look out there for the cheapest coins. The reality is that you want to look at coins that have good utilities and could be adopted in the real world. And AVAX is one of them. I just think my money can go further with the much lesser price coins. But that doesn't stop me from having AVAX. I just don't have as much AVAX to make me super rich as the other coins that are still kind of cheap at the moment.
Absolutely. Hey, I think that the use case in this situation as well is pretty cool. I know it was a really long time back, but we read something about some blockchain. It was essentially an app, right? It was a DApp, if you will, that was set up in such a way where if the wind speed in a specific area crosses above a certain speed, that is registered on the blockchain, and the blockchain is able to disperse funds to people in that address or that zip code where the storm happened.
Areas.
Exactly. So when I read this and learning that they're working with Deloitte to improve federal emergency management systems, if you will, I think that brings back that story back to mind, and I think that is really neat. Pretty cool stuff there. Deserves to be in top 10, I would say.
Yeah, it does. There's a lot of coins that deserve to be in top 10, but I'm glad AVAX finally made that movement.
Absolutely, it is in there. Study shows Bitcoin delivered 99.996% deflation against the US dollar over the past decade. How insane is that?
Well, it's not insane because we've been telling folks that we're going to tell them some of our lessons learned from our trip to Miami,
right?
And this was some of the comments or some of the information that was repeated over and over and over again.
Yes,
that Bitcoin is a store of wealth, it's a store of money, it's an edge against deflation. So seeing an article about this kind of also continues to confirm that.
Absolutely.
Bitcoin, although a lot of antagonists want to say Bitcoin is just crap, the wealthy folks that know what's going to happen to their money if this inflation continues at the rate it is, they know to start looking for other options, and they're not going to gold, they're going to Bitcoin.
Definitely. I mean, I think Bitcoin is definitely a much more superior asset in this situation.
I should quickly correct myself. Actually, they go to gold, but they go more to Bitcoin than they go to gold.
Yeah. I mean, I think they go to gold, but why do you think they're still going to gold though? Because when you look at Bitcoin next to gold, Bitcoin seems like a much more efficient way to store your wealth.
Yeah, they call it diversification, and because they never know what's gonna happen, so they just want to balance their risk, so they still go to gold.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Inflation in the United States within the last decade has risen close to 30%, whereas Bitcoin has seen its value deflated by 99% in the same period, right? I think if you're looking for, very much, I know, like right now at this point in time, it is claimed that inflation is around 6%. But the reality is, when you look at the prices of things around you, you see that it is more than 6%. So if you're trying to find an asset where you can hedge against inflation, right? Because essentially at this point in time, this inflation is, you could look at it as a silent robbery, right? Because your dollar can no longer go as far. But if you're looking for something that will allow you to be able to fight against that inflation, protect your wealth, I mean, I don't think this is a very strong argument for Bitcoin. You don't even have to be wealthy
to invest in Bitcoin. That's the funny part.
So, well, let's just say to protect your dollars, essentially. Yeah, let's say to protect your dollars, right? Absolutely, and it does that for you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was reading an article this weekend, and I was just like, really, this is no joke. You put your money in the bank, you put $100 in the bank, and by the end of the year, your $100 is only worth $75.
Right.
That is terrible, and the bank is not giving you anything back. And we'll keep saying, government, something is wrong. The government is like, oh, okay, we'll throw you more stimulus. But the stimulus is not coming to the people. It's going back to the hands of the super rich, and the super rich are throwing the money into Bitcoin, and everybody's like, hey, when are we gonna fix this problem? That's a huge governance issue major governance issue that we kind of need to solve now. Yeah.
Look, man, for whatever reason, man, government is proving to not be incentivized to fix the issue because I guess fixing the issue does not benefit them. But this is better than a savings account, is what I'll say. Right?
Yeah.
Just put your money in there. Not financial advice. Do your own research.
Not financial advice.
Sure. Building multi-chain is a new necessity for DeFi products. Web 3.0 will be a multi-chain mosaic, and the winning DeFi projects will be those that build experiences connecting as many blockchains as possible. DeFi and connecting multiple blockchains. Go ahead.
Rhonda, Rhonda's gonna be like, "Where did this come from?" Literally, I just woke up this morning, and our conversation
Hey.
last night was the first news article that showed up on my computer. I was like, "Nah, man, you guys are listening to my conversation."
Hey, man,
This is
so-
one of the things I don't like about the centralized
Centralized
Web
platforms.
2.0.
Yeah.
It's like it knows everything that you're talking about or you're chatting about. So, okay, well, thank you for giving me an article to continue my conversation from last night.
Absolutely.
The reality is this: we need to stop this back and forth. Oh, Ethereum is gonna flip Bitcoin, Solana is gonna flip Ethereum. It's okay. Web 2.0, okay, we had the OSI model, we had just one system or one protocol to kind of work with.
Right.
I think we have a better advantage this time around with Web 3.0. It's okay if we have multiple blockchains. But I think some of the folks that will benefit the most are the blockchains or the apps, the dApps that allow you to cross chain. Like, you know how I lost my Phantom because I was trying to go from one chain to another.
Okay.
You know, we can fix that. You know how I lost my Ethereum because I was trying to stick it inside SHIB. Like, I should not have lost that inside that Shiba swap.
Right.
Because they're both Ethereum based. But anyway, long story short, if we can do multi chains, then everything is fixed and life is great. But then we have some issues.
Security. Right.
Security, right? You know, was it Polkadot or one of those guys, Polygon?
Yeah.
Got that $600 million stolen on that bridge.
Yeah, I mean, that was Polychain. That's the one thing too.
Polychain, okay.
People tend to really get that confused because I know, like, I think Polygon actually saw the price decrease when Polychain got hacked. They're not the same thing, but it's the name is very close. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, and then it's very hard to maintain, right? So
Right.
it's like managing a Windows operating system and Apple on Apple's operating system. It's tough to manage, but I'm sure eventually these developers will find a solution, a secure bridge as well. But I think it's gonna help because NFTs, for example, moving your OpenSeas to Sandbox, you know, that's another challenge. How do you migrate your or like saying Xbox versus PlayStation? Can we both play? You know, you want to play a video game and you have an Xbox system and I have a PlayStation. Can we find a way to bridge and still play the same game the same game at the same time? And I think this is going to be the benefits that we would need eventually for all this blockchain technology to be successful. But just like AVAX just moved to the top, eventually all this noise will settle and just a very few amount of companies will make it to the top.
Well, I think it seems that in this blockchain world, there is sort of you cannot have it all, right? And there will be some things that we have to give up to get other things, whether it's giving up security for speed or decentralization for speed, one thing or the other. And I think that one thing that we need to look at as a people is what is necessary. A few videos ago, right, we had a conversation where we're talking about Ethereum versus Bitcoin. When we're having that conversation, what I was saying in that conversation was, I do not think that we need all these blockchains to do everything, right? A spoon does not need to be a fork. We need to just kind of pick and choose what we need based on what application it's for, right? And there are certain situations where we may need more speed. So with something like gaming, speed would definitely be something that you need, right? So maybe we can sacrifice something like decentralization or maybe some security in that case because it's not as important. But then when it comes to the financial side of things, we could turn up speed and turn up decentralization. We can turn up security, we can turn up decentralization, and then maybe pull back on speed a little bit or maintain where it is, because I don't think things are that slow at this point either. So it'd be interesting to see.
Or you can even have partnerships between blockchains where if the blockchain's main focus, like kind of like what Polkadot is doing. It's like, okay, your main focus is gaming, right? Okay, I'll bring Polkadot on top of that so that I can handle your transactions for you.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
Yeah.
And then the Polkadot will be the bridge to maybe have maybe some kind of other app or DeFi app to manage the financial aspect of that gaming. So it's, you know, do what you do best and have someone partner with somebody else, not going against one another.
Absolutely. Well, very interesting developments going on there in the crypto world. We're going to be leaving the links to those articles in the description below as I check out AVAX here because I'm actually very interested in getting into some AVAX
I've
too.
always thought AVAX is too
Yeah.
expensive. I've been waiting for it to come back down because the price have always gone above those. I've always been above the moving averages. I was like, just turn down a little bit so I can get it cheaper. It's like, nope, I'm still
Yeah.
going up. So if you have not gotten it since July and you're trying to get it now, I think you're paying a lot of money for it. That's 1,351% increase
Yeah.
since July.
Very sharp. Very sharp. And maybe,
Oh my god, from $10 to $131.
you know,
Folks,
I think
this is why we invest in crypto.
Jeez. All right, so that's 1,000% increase there.
Oh, I see what you're
Right,
doing
and
here.
then there's that
It came back
consolidation.
down.
You see what I'm doing, right? And then
Yeah,
we have
so-
from that base as well to the next one was also another 1,000% increase.
Yeah.
So I guess
I'll
I'm
just
just
wait for
waiting
it
to
to
see what happens. Does it keep ripping up? Of course, the news right now is going to
Yeah,
make it
it might
probably keep
settle at
ripping up.
$80. Then $80 would be the next entry or something like that.
Yeah, so if it settles around $80, right, and or I mean maybe it might be a little bit higher than that, but let's take an 80% drop, right, from the top, and let's see.
Ooh, somebody's gonna be so mad. It goes down to $27.
All right, so we hope the bear market comes by soon.
I'll buy a lot.
We hope the bear market comes by soon, and that would be great. So if it drops 80% from where it is right now, we're looking at about $26.11. That would be a great loading point.
Yeah.
But you know, again, it's not impossible. It's happened before. It could happen again. That is all we have. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching our videos. Thank you for liking, subscribing, bro. We're approaching 100 subscribers pretty quick. I would say that. And of course, once we get there, we'll be giving away 2 stack t-shirts to 2 random winners. And of course, at 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving away $500 worth of Cardano. 2 winners.
$250 each.
$250 each. Okay. Until next time, Brazen out.
00 out.